Yeah.
A terrible story for you. I'm going to get to it. At least 25 people are dead following a bombing in a Coptic Christian church. Christians clearly being targeted by Islamic terrorists. Father Jonathan Morris is here. This is not new, and it is extremely sad. So why don't we have more of these persecuted Christians coming to America?
Well, thanks be to God, because many of them want to stay and live their faith there. And that's exactly what we should be not only encouraging, but we should stand back in tremendous respect for them. You know, right now the Coptic Christians are about 10% in Egypt. If they were all to leave, not only would we be putting at risk the incredible religious traditions and Christianity itself in that part of the world, but also it would create an amazing political instability when you have an Egypt that is 100% Muslim, for example. That's a fair point.
Fair point, because it's 10% of the population. You encourage them all to leave, and you really do change
that changes the country.
But maybe you save a few people too.
Obviously, if somebody is fleeing from their lives, for their lives, we as a country with a heart should be able to receive them, no doubt, and especially those who are fleeing for their lives based on religious persecution.
Here's something that just stuck out at me over the weekend, and that is young men who are going into the priesthood in the Catholic Church. The Pope is telling them to preach from the pulpit about the dangers of global warming. I know what I can see that look on your face. You know where I'm coming from. This sounds an awful lot like politics in the pulpit, which I disagree with.
Separating politics from the pulpit would be the worst thing we could do for both religion and for the world. Now, it doesn't mean partisan politics, but what the Pope is saying here in this document for basically seminary preparation formation is, if you're going to be preaching about God, remember that God cares about everything that affects human beings, including taking care of the earth, so that the earth can take care of human beings.
But this sounds,
that goes right back to Genesis. This is nothing new.
Be a good steward of the earth.
Absolutely, and take care of it.
Genesis, right at the very beginning.
From God.
Okay, but when you start preaching about global warming from the pulpit, you are warning people of the dangers of what you think is this scientific
it's not about standing up and giving a scientific discourse on global warming. It's saying, hey, we have to take responsibility for the earth. Right? And if human beings are creating global warming or global freezing or whatever it happens to be during that time of humanity's history,
that's buying into
that affects humanity.
That's buying into a particular political point of view.
It's not a political point of view. If science, and I'm not saying that science has determined exactly the effects and the causes of global warming, but if it has, and it's affecting human beings, especially the poor, we need to be preaching responsibility and care for the earth, and that's nothing new.
Is the Pope a leftist?
I would say he's left of you. By a lot.
I think a lot of human beings are leftists.
Precisely.
I think you are, actually. I'm not so sure about that, actually. I don't know. I can never tell.
No, you know what? I would say he's, in terms of American political politics, yes, he would be left of center. But he's not American. He's not in our politics.
Be careful, Father Jonathan.
Exactly. I might end up in a Vatican prison someplace. I'm sure they would serve good pasta and good wine.
It's called a dungeon. Father Jonathan Morris, everyone. Good man. Thanks for joining.
Thank you.